Hello, dear colleagues, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to speak with you and stand here and represent, of course, my beautiful country named Georgia. I'm a chairman of the FinTech Association of Georgia, and also I'm one of the person who is responsible for the development of the FinTech sector in our country. So let me speak about my country. Let me tell you about the opportunities which you will possible have to bring your business in our country. And of course, I will do my best as a representative of the FinTech Association to help you to enhance your business in our country. So first of all, little bit about me. So I'm not going to tell you a lot about myself. So please feel free to connect with me by LinkedIn, and I will be more than happy to come to deep conversation with you, and maybe together we somehow figure out how we can do business together in Georgia. So now let me talk about the Georgia, about my country. So what's about Georgia? So our population is only 3.7 million persons in our country. Unemployment rate is approximately 40%. GDP is about $38 billion. We have only 2 million active clients, so when we're talking about the active clients, we are talking about they have the active account in commercial banks, they are actively working, are involved in economic activities and so on and so on. And GDP per capita is only $10.3 thousand per person. Maybe these figures are small, of course. For example, when we're talking about the European countries, about more developed countries, but still, let me a little bit talk about the history of Georgia and how we are going forward. So, as you know, that the Georgia is a post-Soviet Union country, but still we are one of the most developed country in Caucasus region. Compare with Azerbaijan, compare with Armenia, compare even with Russia. Of course, Russia is totally different, but still our history is most significant and most remarkable in this way. And when we talk about the fintech and when we talk about the financial technologies and banking system, in Georgia, this kind of sector is most developed in our region. Even I can say that the financial technologies and banking system is more developed than some European countries. So, as you can see, our history started in 1991 when the Georgia took the independence from the Soviet Union, and we passed a lot of challenges, lot of problems in this period. And now, from 2019, we have very developed financial system. We have already launched open banking. We launched the RTG Renew RTGS system. Also, I can say that, for example, National Bank of Georgia in few weeks ago already announced that the fintechs can be involved in RTGS system, which means that the fintechs will have the most independence from the commercial banks. They will have opportunity to open independent IBAN account for their clients. So it means that the fintech sector is developing in our country very, very rapidly. So what we have also in our country, why is our country is most flexible? Our country is flexible. So as you can see, we have some innovative startup program by which for example, innovative technology company can establish in our country, and they will have some exclusions from the tax payment. For example, first 3 years they will not pay some taxes. That means that they will have some very, very good opportunities to develop their business model and develop the company. Also, in terms of business activities, as you can see that in the ranking of the doing business, our country on the 7th position, our safety index on the 50th position all around the world, and our credit rating is BB. So in these figures, that you can see that the small country like Georgia and such a problematic territory, problematic regions such as Caucasus, you can see that the Georgia one of the most developed, and the Georgia we have really good positions, really good opportunities to make a business. To go further, and when we talk about the fintech, then we will talk about technology adoption. Of course, there is some very important figures which we should to know. That's for example, smartphoneization rate in Georgia is about 90-30%. That it means that's almost every child, almost every person, almost every human, I would say, they have the smartphone, which means that's the adoption of technology, adoption of mobile application is a very high rate in our country. So every person in our country is using applications on Android, on Apple, everywhere. So we have very high rate of technology adoptions. Internet penetration, we have also very high rate of the mobile internet. Almost all around Georgia, you can find the internet, you can use the mobile application, which means that for the technology companies is very, very important to test their product. And finally, account in financial institutions. So almost 80% of our populations have active account in our country. Even a school pupils, they have already accounts in commercial banks. They have the opportunity to manage their own finances by themselves, of course, under parents' coordination and parents' engagement. Now I would like to little bit talk about the fintech sector and especially regulatory environment in our country. In Georgia, we have one main regulator, which are the National Bank of Georgia, and I'm sure this model is same as different countries, different sectors. So National Bank of Georgia is one of the drivers of the fintech development. I can say that 1 year ago NBG issued the national strategy of the fintech development. I'm not sure there is a lot of countries which have such a kind of fintech strategy, but I can assure you that this strategy works very well in our country. We have moving forward with very big steps in this moment. In this regard, I can say that the open banking, which is maybe one of the most significant and remarkable projects in Europe and in all around the world, in Georgia, is moving forward very rapidly. We have already implemented 4 steps of the open banking project. We are already moved to the open finance, which means that there is a lot of APIs which are already issued by the commercial banks, and a lot of fintechs are already involved in open banking project, and they started developing new innovative products for the customers. We have innovative office. So National Bank of Georgia have innovative office in which, of course, works the sandbox. Sandbox means that there's also already a lot of fintechs and innovative technology companies have opportunity to be involved in sandbox, test their ideas in the regulatory environment, and afterwards start developing the business model and go to the market. So it's a very good opportunity for the innovative programs and innovative projects. Also, I have to say that there is a lot of international companies which are already started working in a sandbox, and also there is companies which are very actively watching the Georgian market, and they have some ideas to come to Georgia and start the business in the sandbox. Also, CBDC project, central bank digital currency, which are very it's some kind of little trick maybe from the national banks, but still Georgia National Bank is also working on the CBDC. And I have to announce that they also, besides to CBDC, in Georgia very actively operates company Tether. I'm sure you know about this company, who is responsible about the stable coin USDT. And Tether, with active collaboration with National Bank of Georgia, starting project TGEL. It's a totally different of the CBDC, but still they will issue the stable coin in Georgian laris. And this project will also brings on the table new opportunities, new innovative projects, new innovative ideas, not only for the Georgian startups, but also for the international startups as well. So if there is some companies, some persons who is, for example, thinking about the CBDC, thinking about the stablecoin project or something else, please feel free. I will be more than happy to connect you to the Tether representatives and National Bank of Georgia's representatives. And finally, I would like to highlight the companies which are operating already in the Georgian market. I bring on this presentation some remarkable companies which have really big scale already in our country, and which also are starting operating international level. So totally in Georgia, we have approximately 80 companies, fintech companies, including crypto companies, including payment service providers, including electronic money providers, fintech solutions, banking solutions, and so on and so on. And these numbers are very rapidly going up. So totally, I would like to say that the Georgia is a very flexible market for the company establishment, for the startup establishment. On this panel, there was some people was talking about that the European Union is already become very, very over-regulated, and I think it's really true. And really, the European Union countries is very, how to say, over-regulated. So that's why the new fintech startups, new fintech, innovators are looking to the different countries to start the business. So when we're talking about the start the business, it comes to the flexibility of this country. Flexible regulation, flexible infrastructure, flexible governance, flexible doing business possibilities. So I can assure you that the Georgia is the most flexible country in the world, because we have very good adoption of the new ideas and innovative solution and innovative approach. So finally, in the conclusion, I can say that please feel free to come Georgia. Feel free to start business in Georgia, because the Georgia will be one of the best choices to start the business which you ever had. This is it. Thank you very much. Feel free to connect me, and let's keep in touch.